Hello there everybody, please bear with me while I'm eating a mint, but never mind. Now, obviously this is 5-minute react today. I need to turn the fan on. That's better, cool down. Okay, so today we're going to be doing 5-minute react for Doctor Who Series 10 Episode 4, Knock Knock. But before we do that though, just one bit of admin. I am totally aware that this is now the 4th video in a row to be a 5-minute react, and that I haven't done anything else other than that. I was hoping to get another episode of Factoid out last week, but I've been snowed under with university work, and I have just not had the time to sit and edit it, as well as other things that I've been doing as well. So, but hopefully I'll be able to get that out soon, and yeah. Right, so Series 10, Episode 4, Knock Knock, 5 minutes starting now. Okay, now this was a very interesting episode. Obviously this is the first episode of Series 10 to take place entirely on Earth. This is also, yeah, and it's also, I think it's an interesting idea, this episode. First though, I think I will say, there are a lot of elements of it though that are just cliche ghost story. You know, the banging walls, the creaky floorboards and everything. And I get that it's kind of supposed to be like that, because the characters are supposed to be sort of laughing and joking about it, sort of going, oh yeah, ha 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 ha, haunted house sort of thing. But even that's been done before, so I was a little bit disappointed by that, in the sense that it's very much classic ghost story kind of thing. So, and you know, it's the sort of ideas that have been done in Doctor Who before, in other episodes, but never mind. Now, the monsters, or those sort of lice, whatever they are, I didn't quite catch the name. Very interesting concept, but again we're going for this idea again of keeping someone alive. I think I like the twists in it though. The twist of it turning out to be of the landlord turning out to be the son rather than the father was interesting, but again has kind of been explored before. Bit like how in the end of The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances, Nancy was revealed to be the mother of the little boy and not the sister. So kind of been done before, but it is a different writer, so you know this isn't the same writer. So it was an interesting idea though. The idea of bugs coming out of places was of just sort of appearing out of nowhere was an idea that was sort of explored in Smile. As for Eliza, the wooden woman, as I like to call her, I liked her. I think it was a very good idea. I'm not entirely sure exactly how it works, but yeah, I think this is the sort of episode where I would understand it much better. Sorry, on like maybe the second or third viewing would help me understand some of the concepts a bit better. I mean, I have to admit this episode didn't do as good a job as holding my attention. I feel like some of the scenes felt a bit dragged out and slow. You know, I think at one point I was sort of sitting on the floor. I was sort of playing with some coins and sort of half watching, half listening. So a bit of a letdown there. But yeah, so overall I think this is definitely sadly one of the more forgetful episodes of this series so far. And you know, I think it's not a bad episode, but it's got a lot of cliches in it, and for me, it felt a bit dragged out and slow, and I think it was lacking in the action, I think, at some points. And I think there was a lot of stuff that had been done before as well. And not to mention it was just your classic ghost story. I will also I do want to comment though on some other things. I liked I like that little mention there of Bill's sexuality, which is something I've commented on already in my review of the pilot. And I like the way that he was sort of subtle but there, you know, and that the other characters were just fine with it. And, you know, I think it was a good way to sort of have Bill sort of say it, even if it's just by saying, I usually go for girls, and just that sort of the joke, haha, well, never mind that was good. And I think it was good to have Bill explicitly state it in the episode, but I don't want to talk about that too much because ultimately it's not really important to the actual episode itself. Okay, crikey, 11 seconds. So, not the most interesting episode of the series. It's certainly not the best episode. And it's, but it's, yeah, that's all I will say. And that's kind of my thoughts on the episode. I will just take a moment though to talk about the Next Time trailer. I'm not going to talk about the Vault because we've kind of talked about the Vault, and we know that someone's in it. That's something that I don't really want to talk about the Vault because, you know, it's a story arc. You know, we'll find out what's in there eventually. But I will just talk about what I've seen from the Next Time trailer. I want to say one good thing, one bad thing. The good thing is that Nardole is joining in the action. We know that Nardole's actually going to go on the adventure with the Doctor and Bill, and I like that. You know, I like that very, very much. Because it'd be nice, and you know, it'd be nice. I like the idea of seeing more of Nardole in the actual show rather than him just being either at the beginning or at the end of an episode. And the thing that I will say is the bad thing. I'm already getting visions of the typical story that is always done of the Doctor and his companions arriving on a base somewhere, just minding their own business, just exploring. They get found by the other people on the bases, and then they immediately get the blame for everything that's going on. They get guns pointed at them, and then the Doctor will solve the problem. And oh yay, whoopee, we're all friends. It's something that Doctor Who has done 1,000 times, but you never know. This one could go differently. So it doesn't necessarily keep my aspirations up for the next episode, but in saying that, my favourite Doctor Who story has exactly that sort of premise on it. My favourite story is the Moon Base. So, and that has exactly that sort of thing. They arrive on the moon at the Moon Base, they're immediately blamed for all the strange happenings that are going on, and then they end up fixing the problem. But, so, you know, that it can work, but I'm interested to see where it will go, because I feel, from what I've seen in the Next Time trailer, it's either going to be as bog standard as you can get, or it's going to be something that's absolutely fantastic and something really unexpected is going to happen. But anyway, those were my thoughts on Knock Knock, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye everybody.